Hey, it's Deb with Creative Life. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for subscribing and being here with me today, you guys. So I hope y'all are having a great day today. And today I have my project number 2 for Trace Jolie using the Card Tag and More kit. And this is the April kit, and it is kind of like a junk journal kit, but you can make cards with these too. So we're actually going to be doing a little junk journal, okay, or a little journal, whatever you want to use it for. I just think that this is going to turn out super cute. So what you're going to need is everything in the kit, plus you're going to need 2 white cards. Now, if you have any cards left over from a previous kit, you can definitely use those because that's what I'm going to be doing. I have 2 cards that are from a previous kit that we're going to be using, and then we're going to be using this little book too. So the only thing is that we might have to be cutting this down a little bit. So yeah, so we're going to be cutting this down just a tad to have it cover along, to have it put in here. Okay, now let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so to get started, we're going to go ahead and take our cards and we're going to put them in our scoreboard. And what you're going to do is you're just going to go ahead and score at the 1/2 inch. So after your score line should be a 1/2 inch, you're going to score at that 1/2 inch. So now we kind of have like a small little gusset, okay, or a little spine. So you're just going to go ahead and do that for both of your cards. And that is it for that. Alrighty, and then the next thing you're going to do is go ahead and you can fold them in. Okay, so they're going to be like this. Okay, one is going to be longer or shorter than the other. See, when you put it together like that. Okay, and that's okay. That's what we want. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick one of these cards and poke holes in it. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to grab our little book and we're actually going to cut this down just a tad. Okay, so I'm going to grab my cutter. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and fit this in here just like this, and we're going to have to cut off about a good, looks like a 1/2 inch maybe. Now you don't have to if you don't want to, but and I'm going to mark where I need to cut it off. So I'm just going to grab my pencil, just kind of mark it right there. So it's actually right below that number thing, that little number right there. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut. Okay. And it really didn't change anything other than it's just a little shorter. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back in here, and it fits perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. Okay, so I'm going to bring this in closer because I want you guys to see what I'm doing. And I'll bring this down a little bit. And oops, over. There we go. So now what you're going to do is you're going to grab your little card and your little booklet, and this is already tied together, this piece right here, but we want it tied to here. I'm going to grab my little pokey tool, and right next to where it's tied, I'm just going to go ahead and make a little hole there, and I'll make another one down here. Okay, so now you've got some holes there, and they're right there. Oops, they're right there on our little spine. Now you can go ahead and you can make these a little bit bigger. So I'm going to make these a little bit bigger. So I'm going to put this right here. Make it a little bit bigger so my yarn will go through. Now, if you have yarn that you want to use, you're more than welcome to use that. But with this kit comes a couple of strings, and so you can definitely use the strings from here. And I just took 2 of the strings away from the whole piece, and I'm going to use these. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go and thread these through. Okay, so here I am threading my, getting ready to thread my little string through my holes. And I have to say, with these long nails that I got for the wedding, it was a little bit hard. So I went ahead and wet the end of the string with water to get it to go through. Then I made necessary adjustments to the holes just to either, to fit the string through. I just couldn't find my needle that I usually use to put the strings through my holes. I have no idea where it went, so I just kind of did the best I could. And once I got it through, I used my little tweezers to help me pull these through. I did squirt some water on it at the end, and just to pull it through the little holes there. So once I got all the strings through, I went ahead and started tying them onto the strings that were already tied to the middle of the little booklet. But just to let you know, as a tip, if you wanted to take, which I wish I would have did, take 2 of the strings, tie them together, and then put them through the holes. That will give you a little bit more excess string for tying your knots and such and pulling it really taut. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that. So get 2 strings, tie them together at the end, and then pull it through your holes. Now for this next part, what we're going to do is we're going to take the other card that we scored, and the back of one side of that card is going to be adhered to the back of the journal. So you're going to go ahead and grab your glue, and you're just going to place glue on one end of that card, okay? And then you're going to go ahead, and I stood mine up because it was easier so I could see that everything was lining up correctly. So you're just going to go ahead and you're going to adhere that back to the back side of the journal. And now you're ready to cover your book, you guys. So easy peasy. So after I was done cutting all my papers, I just started gluing them on top of my booklet. And I had to remove that one because it was upside down. So put it up the right side up. So I just started gluing all my papers down, the front, the back, the inside, and these papers are really good cardstock, you guys. I'm telling you, they're really thick. They're great for cards, great for making a little folio or album, whatever you want to do. They're really a thick piece of cardstock, so this set is a really good quality. So now I'm going to go ahead and cover the inside of this little journal, and it is super cute. I love this pattern paper. It's so pretty. And so I'm going to go ahead and cover that up. Okay, and then what we're going to do is there are a couple of pieces that have lines in these, and you guys know what I love to do with these. So we're definitely going to cut these and make these into pockets. So I'm getting my score tape here, and I'm just going to go ahead and go all the way around this piece. So you're going to put your score tape on the back side all across the edges. Now this is one of my favorite things to do. I've done this for a few years now with mini albums, large mini albums and folios. I just think it's something really fun and it's different. So, you know, it's something that you can do really easy to create a pocket for your folio journals or your mini albums. Once you get your tape on, you're going to flip your card over and you're just going to grab, like, I'm doing the line that's right in between the flower and the lace. And you're going to do that to both of these. And you're just going to get your X-Acto knife and follow that line all the way down till about 1/4 of an inch. And that is going to be your pocket. So now we're ready to place these on. So you're just going to go ahead and remove the tape from the back. And I go ahead and sometimes add glue to these just so that way it's, you know, has like a little bit more sticky and gives you a little bit more time to, you know, put this on. So I went ahead and placed glue on the back and then just popped those on just like that. You only want to put your glue on the tape part, not on the inside of the area where you're gluing down. So, so you want to just go ahead and take off the tape, and then you're going to go ahead and you're going to place glue on these, and then you're just going to go ahead and take that down. Adhere it down really good and burnish them down so that you know that they're stuck down really good. Just like that. So cute. I love this idea. So I hope you guys like it too. So now we're going to go ahead and grab one of those film chipboard pieces or stamp chipboard pieces, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to paint these with gesso, and that way you can color them any color you want. So I went ahead and just grabbed my white gesso, placed it on top of my chipboard piece, and you don't have to, if you're using a paint, you don't have to do the gesso if you don't want to, but I am going to be using kind of like a little like a watercolor paint, and so that's what I'll be using to color these. And once your gesso is dried, then you can go ahead and you can paint these whatever color you would like. Now we can start decorating. So I went ahead and just folded up that little end there, just something simple, just to give it a little bit of I guess decoration, just to add a little something to the page. And then I grabbed that little flower ephemera piece, and then the little scallop oval I had in my stash, so I went ahead and used that, and then added a butterfly up on top. Now you can decorate your pages however you would like, and I just kind of went through, I didn't decorate like every single page. I just kind of went through and did some things here and there just to share with you how to decorate your little journal. Now you can use this as a journal, you can use this as maybe a place just to write some thoughts, or you know, just add, like, you know, every day add something that you know that you're grateful for, or maybe you went for a walk, you took a little picture, so you want to add that in there. So you can use this little journal for anything you would like. You can even use it just to place little family pictures of, like, maybe you all went on a small trip to someplace, and so you can add some little pictures in there. So here I went ahead and I grabbed a small square that I had in my stash, and I just made a little tiny envelope in that. And I'm kind of out of a picture right here, so I apologize. I did add some flowers that I had in my stash from another kit, and I went ahead and stuck them into the envelope. And you'll see here after you know I get done decorating, when I do the walkthrough at the end of the video, you'll see exactly everything that I did. So next we're going to move on. And I just, like I said, I'm doing kind of like just some spots here and there in the book. I didn't really do a whole lot of decorating. I just kind of went from, just kind of picked out different spots to decorate, just to give you guys some ideas. And I tore that little check, and then I put it up, and I just glued the top half. And so you can actually lift that and you can put something underneath it. So here I just tried to use a lot of the ephemera pieces that were in this collection. And then here I went ahead and I used that little bear card. I thought that was so cute. And I just went ahead and stuck that right there on the edge of that flap. I thought that was super cute and a great way to use that. And then here I just stuck that little disc down, and then I put that little disc on top. But I did add some foam tape on the back of that just to give it a little bit of a raise. So you can definitely do that and put those two together. Now you can definitely use these as tuck spots. So that is another good idea, is if you have a picture or something that you want to stick under there, you can definitely do that. And then I decided to go ahead, and I love that little dog with the roof. So I did go ahead and put him down, but you'll see here in a bit. We kind of did a oops on this one because the stamp would not stamp all the way through, because I had put the flowers, the bouquet flowers on before I stamped, and so it didn't quite it just stamp all the way through, but that's okay because we fixed it. And I just went ahead and used a pen to finish off the areas where it didn't go through. So here it says go your own way, so I just went ahead and grabbed a black pen and went ahead and wrote that in there. And it looks great, you guys. It really does. Here I used another stamp. This one was so pretty. Faith before worry. And so I went ahead and stamped that twice. And then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to place some flowers down on here. And I actually tore some flower petals and then glued all those down and then added a little flower to it. So once I got the flower petals down, I went ahead and brought in a flower with one of the big leaves on it, and I thought this would have looked so beautiful on here, but there just wasn't enough room because I didn't want to cover up any of the words. So I just grabbed that flower, and see how it has that big knot in the middle, I mean, that's just how the flower is made. But we do take that out later, and I'll show you in a bit what. And the reason why I took it out was because it was just so big, and it was causing a lot of bulk in the book, and it wouldn't close right. So that is something to keep in mind when you're putting your stuff together, you guys. So I never think about that. It's an afterthought. Next, I grabbed one of the little tags that we have in the kit, and I went ahead and glued that down. And then I grabbed some stickers that I had in my stash, and I just put the word lion on there. And I thought that was super cute. And of course, this is just an idea. You guys can decorate your book however you want. I just thought it was something cute, and I just thought it was really cute. So I just grabbed some black word or letter stickers from my stash and just placed those on there, and I think it worked perfectly. So yeah, and that was easy peasy, you guys. So easy. So here is where I tore off the middle of the flower, the ball, and I just went ahead and placed some glue in the middle, grabbed a white little enamel dot from my stash, and then just placed that right on top of there. Next, for the pockets that we made with the X-Acto knife that are on either side of the book opening part, I just grabbed this gold trim that I had in my stash. Now this is from a kit from last year. If you still have some of this, I love using this, you guys. It is just awesome. So I went ahead and just lined the top of the pocket right there, so you know where the pocket begins. And so I just went ahead and lined that with that trim, just like that, and laid that down. It goes on super easy and it sticks really good, you guys. So I love this stuff. So, and I am running out, so I don't think I have very much more, you guys. So I think that's about it. Next, we're going to put together our closure. And for the closure, you're going to, after you paint your little chipboard piece, you're going to weed through your lace through here, okay? And I'm not sure of the measurement of the lace. I just kind of eyeballed it. And you're just going to go ahead and wrap that around, just like that. And then you're going to go ahead and leave that a little bit opened up on top. So when you glue this down, you're only going to glue up to where that first bar is up on top. And when I come back in, I'm putting glue on it right now. So you're going to wrap the lace around. You're going to go ahead and set the bottom right at the edge of the bottom of your journal, and then you'll have a little space up on top. See that little notch way up on top underneath the little rivets, and you're going to go ahead and loop that through that little notch, okay? And you're, like I said, you're just going to wrap that around, and you're going to be able to open that up a little bit, because you're not going to glue to the very top of this little stamp chipboard piece, okay? You're just going to leave it where it's opened, okay, right there. So you're not going to glue to the very tip top of that. All right, and then here I'm going to go ahead and I'm placing down my little flower bouquet. And this bouquet is, again, from another it's from another kit. I believe it might be from another card kit, but I will look and see if it's still available, and if it is, I'll put all the links down below for the items that I used in my book from other kits, okay? If they're not available, then I won't put the link there, because I don't want you to have to go and search and then find out that it's not there anymore. So then I went ahead and just glued that down, and this is so cute. I absolutely love how this little journal turned out. Super easy peasy, you guys. And you can use this for anything. So I hope that you guys I like the fact that it's made out of cards. So, you know, the base of it is made out of cards, and you can go ahead and, you know, place whatever items you want inside of here. And that is about it, you guys. We are done. So the next thing I did is I went ahead, and because that little piece of the lace was sticking out, I just put a glue dot behind it and laid it down, and it's good to go, you guys. So that is one way you can lay down your lace, you know, without anybody knowing you actually glued it down. Just put a little dot back there, and then I added a little gold foil butterfly to the bottom, and that's it. Okay, you guys, we're done with this little journal, and I think this turned out so pretty. I hope that y'all like it. And I love the idea of using this chipboard here as a closure. We added in the lace, some of the foil butterflies and the leaves. We added in this cluster of roses that is from another kit, and I'll see if that's available, and I'll put the link down below. And then we covered the whole thing. So to open this up, you'll simply just go ahead, you'll untie this just like that. You're going to go ahead and pull that through the little notch that's at the top. Okay, so you're going to leave this one, you're not going to put glue like anywhere from here up. Okay, so from here up, you're not going to put any glue, so that way you can get your little lace through this little hole, okay, right here. Then you're going to go ahead, and you're not going to put any glue behind here, because what will happen is if you try to glue this part down, it won't open. Okay, so you're not going to glue that down. The only part you're going to glue down is just the chipboard piece. You don't even have to glue down the lace, okay? So we opened this up and we created this super cute little pocket with some of the ephemera pieces in here. I went ahead and folded this little check piece and stuck that behind here. I did use the rest of my gold little trim here that was in a kit from last year. Placed some ephemera here and here, and then folded up this little piece just to give it a little bit of a character, you know, just something small, you know. And then you can stick something here, or you can write something, put a stamp there, whatever you want to do. Then I didn't decorate the whole entire little journal because I just wanted to share with you some bits and pieces, maybe some ideas just for your journal. So I didn't decorate the whole thing, like every single page in here. So I just want to give you some ideas. So here I had a little square in my stash, and I turned that into a little envelope and then put some flowers in here. Now this little flower was kind of big and it was very lumpy, and I guess I didn't really think about that at the time I was decorating, so I did go ahead and cut this off, and then I tried to smash this down the best I could. But these little flowers turned out great. I did use the stamp set throughout the book. So it says, "Be true to you." I just love that. And then here I used that little bear card and I stuck that down right here. I thought that was super cute. And I just stuck this little check piece right behind here that I tore. And then here I used a couple of the little discs here in this little spot just as a little tuck spot. So you could definitely stick a picture or something underneath there. And it's pretty tight under there, you guys, so it's going to stick. So, and then here on this one, I went ahead and decorated these tags, and I did stamp beautiful on here. I decorated the tags and fussy cut out a lot of the items and then just layered on top of each other. So I hope you guys can see. And I did stick some foam tape on the back of some of the items just to give them a little bit of a lift. So, okay. And then here, let's see, the next one I decorated, I just stuck a little milk thing there. So next I did this little Go Your Own Way stamp, and then I went ahead and placed the little dog card right there, and I thought that was super cute. And then I left those there. I did stick some of the lace right here on this little parchment paper, and then let's see, oh, and then we did this page with the little flower, and I tore up some little flower and just put the little flower petals around, and then put Faith Before Worry, and then put two little leaves here. And then here on this flower had one of those little bulky thing like this, right? It had that on there, and it's kind of bulky, and so it was really causing a lot of bulk through the journal. So I went ahead and just removed it, took it off, and then put a little enamel dot right there. And I think that looks super cute. And then here I just used another one, a piece of the ephemera pieces, just as a little card to open up this page with the little leaf. I thought that was super cute. And then this one I loved. This one I did a lion, and then I put some stickers and then put lion, and I thought that was super cute. And then on this one I put beautiful, and I just stuck this little card right here. Here I stamped Be Wild, Be Free, and then stuck a butterfly and one of the little County Farms discs there. And oh, and then I also did some lace right here, the remaining of the lace that I had. Here I just stuck this ephemera here and then kind of bent it back so you could stick a picture under here, or you could stick whatever you want there. I just thought that was a really neat idea. And of course you could decorate this however you want. You can updo it a little bit more. And then here I stuck this little guest check here, and then this can fold up as well, and a little disc right there. This one right here, I did this little tag, And of course, I lifted it up with some foam tape and just layered up on top of the pieces that I fussy cut out. And I thought that was super cute, and I did a stamp. And then here, I went ahead and placed this down here, and that's just kind of like a little tuck spot. Here is our little pocket, and here is a piece of our little ephemera that can go right there. And that is about it, you guys. And then to close it, you're just going to go ahead and close this, wrap your lace around, put your little lace through the little hole here, and tie it up. And I just thought that this was such a really super cute way to do a closure. And so I hope that you like that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you liked today's project, and take care. I will talk to you soon. Bye. Thanks for joining me today, y'all. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, and head on over to Trace Jolie to check out their shop. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment, and join me Friday nights at 4:30 Central Time.